Am I the a-hole for ruining Father's Day by telling my cousin the truth about why our fun uncle is not involved in her life? Currently, my Uncle John and Aunt Gia are married. But before that happened, Gia had been married to my Uncle Grant for 5 years. And Gia had been cheating on him with John. Uncle Grant was serving in the military for a lot of this time, so we didn't know until he returned home after an 8-month deployment to discover that Gia was already 3 months pregnant and she confessed everything. My grandparents sided with Uncle Grant at first, but after they learned that John was going to marry Gia for the baby, my cousin Zoe, they told Uncle Grant to think of what's best for the baby and forget John and Gia's cheating. Uncle Grant doesn't talk to them anymore, but kept in contact with my dad and our family. Uncle Grant also doesn't have a relationship with Zoe or her younger siblings, John Jr. and Emmy. He explained to me when I asked him as a teenager that he feels keeping his distance is the kindest thing, because he does feel resentment. And he knows it wouldn't be fair to Zoe to bring that kind of energy around her, which I understand. Since yesterday was Father's Day, me and my immediate family hung out with Uncle Grant in the morning and went to my grandparents' house in the evening for dinner. Zoe was at my grandparents' house with her parents and siblings, and she complimented my necklace and asked how I got it. I kept my response vague by saying, "Oh yeah, I got it as a birthday gift." And Zoe responded, "It was from Uncle Grant, isn't it?" Side note, Uncle Grant is the only one in our family who really has money, so I realize now how that would be obvious. I couldn't avoid it anymore without lying since Zoe asked directly, so I told her yes. Zoe got angry, saying that she knows from her parents that me and my brother constantly do fun stuff and get nice things from Uncle Grant. And she demanded to know why she and her siblings have never gotten that same treatment from him. Zoe then made a nasty accusation as to why Uncle Grant only treats me and my brother the way he does. At that point, I pulled Zoe into a private room and offered to tell her the truth, but warned her that her parents did some bad things, and knowing would probably change the way she looks at them. Zoe still insisted on knowing, so I told her what happened in as unbiased a way as possible. Obviously, Zoe was shocked and upset. She ended up getting into an argument with her parents and they went home early. Several different family members called me after, and apparently it's a crap show at John and Gia's house. Zoe wants to stay with our grandparents and is giving her own parents the cold shoulder. John Jr. is suspicious and asking questions, and Emmy is upset/confused because Zoe and her parents were all pretty close before. Only my parents, brother, and Uncle Grant have my back. All the other adults in the family said I ruined Father's Day and should have left the past in the past. But Zoe will be 18 in August and demanded the truth, and I felt she has a right to know. Am I the a-hole? Added for clarification, Uncle Grant, John, and my dad are all biological brothers. Gia has no biological relation to me. Now for the top comments. Not a-hole. She asked a question. You warned her she might not like the answer, and she still insisted. All you did was tell the truth. At 17, she deserves to know the truth. John and Gia are just facing the consequences of their cheating, and the family members giving you crap about this are probably the ones who insisted on hiding Gia's cheating. Edited to add, holy smokes, I just saw the edit that John is the biological brother of Grant. So Gia cheated on Grant with his brother. This just got so much worse. This just reaffirms my stance that you are super not the a-hole. But John and Gia? Screw them. They're huge a-holes. I can totally understand Grant keeping his distance because John just carpet bombed that relationship with his brother. My God, his own brother? Definitely not the a-hole, OP. Not at all. Good luck dealing with this. Not a-hole. Zoe then made a nasty accusation as to why Uncle Grant only treats me and my brother the way he does. This is something that had to be stopped before rumors started flying around and Grant's character was assassinated. Anyone who can make references to grooming and exploitation of children out of pure rank jealousy can be told, hey, you're an affair baby, and our uncle doesn't like you nor wants to be around you because of your mother and father's betrayal of him. It's not like Zoe's some innocent 8-year-old. She has awareness of dark family stuff. Her dark family stuff isn't even as dark as what she was accusing Uncle Grant of. If she is happy to spout one as an untruth, she can cope with the other as hard facts. People have had lives ruined for that kind of stuff. Poor Uncle Grant is just trying to enjoy the family he has left. It wasn't that kind of accusation. Zoe accused Uncle Grant of being closer to me and my brother because we have lighter skin than Zoe and her siblings, which, as I said, is still a nasty and completely untrue accusation. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to talk to my dad even though he got mental help, and then making him cry for telling the truth on his birthday? My dad used to be abusive. It got so bad that my mom and him lost custody of us. My grandparents adopted all 5 of us, and my mom left my dad after getting an ultimatum from my grandparents, and life just kind of went on. Fast forward to today, 13 years later. I'm 25 and I'm disappointed to say that my grandparents died and my mom went back to my dad. All of my siblings also reconnected with him and say he changed completely, although most are not close to him. From what I heard, after losing his family, he finally got mental help and was diagnosed with severe PTSD as an Army vet and bipolar disorder. He spent the better part of a decade getting professional help and looks like it worked. Now my brother and mom are guilt-tripping me into talking to him. They constantly tell me how he was mentally unwell and to give him a second chance since he misses me and wants to make things right. But I really don't want to. I'm glad everyone's happy, but I just don't want to put myself through all that. I have lived 13 years without him. I don't want to have any contact with him ever again. I live on my own, so they can't do anything about it, really. They are basically saying that he wants to be absolved of his past, and by not wanting to talk to him and living in the past, I'm making an old man's life miserable, since his sins are following him. They keep saying he just wants to hear my voice. I still ain't budging because I feel like he gave away that right a long time ago. Recently, it was my dad's 70th birthday and they invited me. I said no, but apparently they made up some convoluted story that I was on a vacation abroad and sent a photo of me and my boyfriend with a text saying, "Happy 70th birthday, Dad. Love, Opie," to my dad. Apparently, he loved it and started brainstorming ideas where to meet with me to talk after I get back from my trip. My sister was present and texted me what had happened. I got so mad that I called my brother and told him to put me on speaker and told everyone at the birthday that I didn't send that message and don't want to have anything to do with my father, and then hung up. I got missed calls from my brother and later a text calling me heartless and asking me if I'm proud of myself for making a 70-year-old man cry on his birthday. He also called me vindictive and childish for living in the past. I said what my wishes were and that they didn't respect them. They made him cry, not me. But now all my extended relatives think I'm a huge witch, even though the rest of my siblings support me. So I don't know what to make out of all of this. I just want my wishes to be respected, and I don't think him getting therapy really can wipe away mistreating his family for over 2 decades. Not a-hole. This is on them. This is their screw up, not yours. 100%. They think OP is cruel. They're the ones demanding a victim play nice to their abuser and getting the old man's hopes up in some sort of sick, weird attempt to manipulate and guilt the victim into it when they set clear boundaries. Actions have consequences. If this man is truly holding himself accountable for the harm he caused, he would not expect anything from OP. And we don't have his side. But if he actually respected OP's wishes and was willing to respect her space, and these people got his hopes up anyway, holy Christ, that's so awful. Honestly, sounds as if OP not speaking to him is an uncomfortable reminder of the past for them. Can't think of any other reason for them to be hounding you like this. Well, OP isn't responsible for their feelings about their relationship with him. One of the big things that helped me make peace with my dad is that when I took him to therapy and said everything I needed to say, he just accepted it was his fault and said he was sorry. I had been so scared that he would get defensive because the harm had occurred years ago, or because he'd got in therapy and changed, but he never invalidated any of my feelings. I think that showed me that he really had changed, and that he truly did want to work things out and move on. Had he put up a wall or tried to direct the conversation, I might not be talking to him anymore today. Hey, you had to live through his PTSD. Now they can live with yours. Seriously, a parent's mental illness can have devastating effects on the minds of children. I hope you're in therapy. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not inviting my daughter to my wedding? I, 47, have been low contact with my daughter Noelle for 3 years at this point. I went low contact with her. There is a lot that happens. But my last straw was when she was 23, she stole my credit card and racked up close to $4,000. There was a lot more to it. but that was my last straw. Anyways, I'm getting married. I've been with him for 10 years and we are doing a very small gathering with my 2 other kids, his kids, and my grandma. So a total of 8 people. Noelle is better now, got her life together and we are talking more often, but I didn't invite her. I don't trust her not to pull a stunt at the wedding. It got back to her and she got angry. Long arguments on both sides and in the end, she called me an ass. My kids are divided on this issue, so I want an outside opinion. Thank you for everyone's comments. I think I'm fine if this ends my relationship with her. If she wants to cut contact since I'm not healed enough or trust her enough after all she did, then it's on her. It's been 3 years of low contact, and my life has been better. I don't think no contact would change any of that. Now for the top comments. Has she apologized or made amends or done anything that acknowledges how much trouble she caused? Or is it more like she slid back into your life with, "Hey, I'm better now"? It's more sliding back and going, "I'm better now" for me. If I try to bring up the past, it's a lot of changing the subject. I know she apologized to her sister, but it didn't end well. Did she steal her sister's credit card too? Basically try to steal her boyfriend. She set her sister up on multiple blind dates, harassed her, sent explicit texts to her boyfriend. When that didn't work, she went over to her boyfriend's house, and the cops were called on her when he turned her down and she wouldn't leave. He broke up with my other daughter since he didn't want to deal with Noelle. Not a-hole. She broke your trust and has to work to rebuild your trust before you can fully invite her back into your life. Reading Opie's comments, her daughter has a lot to make up for to the whole family. She stole and sold grandma's jewelry given to grandma from her dead husband. Everyone should read the comments. She did some crafty stuff. No a-holes here, at least not now. Do understand though that not inviting her to your wedding will be taken as a decision not to have a relationship with her. That's a decision you're free to make, but you can't expect her not to be hurt and angry about it. Opie's comment history indicates that daughter has bad blood with all but one person who will be in attendance and has a history of trying to start fights. I can understand why you wouldn't want to risk it on your wedding day. Not the a-hole. Last story. Am I the a-hole for agreeing to take my niece on holiday but not her stepsister? This concerns my daughter Maddie, my brother Jason's daughter Bella, and his wife Tracy's daughter Sarah. All 3 girls are 11 and go to the same school. Bella and Maddie have always been close. So close that our family jokingly calls them the twins. They do the same extracurriculars at school and often have sleepovers, etc. I wasn't really surprised that when I picked the 2 girls up a few days ago, Maddie asked if we could have Bella come traveling with us for the summer. We always go away for pretty much the whole summer, and this year will be to 3 countries in continental Europe. I had no problem with Bella coming along, so said I would talk to Jason about it. We agreed that Bella could come. Jason and his ex would cover the cost of her flights, a subsidized contribution to accommodation, and give her a credit card for any expenses. Obviously, I will pay for most things, but this is for souvenirs or emergencies. The girls are thrilled. Over the weekend, I got a call from Tracy who is upset that I didn't invite Sarah on the trip. She said it was cruel of me to not offer to take Sarah as well, since I know she has trouble socially at school as well as trouble getting along with Bella. She said me not inviting Sarah on the trip showed that we didn't think of her as family. Tracy said Sarah's devastated over this. I explained that I didn't invite anyone on this trip. Maddie did. To me, her inviting Bella is like her inviting a friend. It's not a family trip. The girls are just also friends. Jason is now getting pressure from Tracy not to let Bella go on the trip if Sarah isn't going. And he says he does see the point about it being unfair and exclusionary. His ex is now arguing, saying Bella should go anyway. And I agree. I think not allowing Bella to go because of Sarah is going to cause more problems between them. Jason asked if I would consider bringing Sarah on the trip as well, and I said no. This is my holiday too, and I don't want to spend it refereeing bickering between girls who are forced to spend time together. I also don't want to be footing the bill for Sarah's trip, as Tracy has a long history of not giving Sarah a reasonable amount of money to do things, and expecting whoever is around to just make up the difference. I would feel bad if Bella doesn't get to come because of this, but I don't think it's fair to anyone to take Sarah on this trip. Not the a-hole. My family is structured similarly to yours. and I understand your justifications 100%. Even if the verdict makes us both exclusionary a-holes, know that I feel your pain. Agreed, and honestly, why not do something with Sarah themselves, as in Tracy and Jason? Forcing Bella to skip the trip will just throw gasoline on the fire of the issues between Sarah and Bella. Yes, have them do the messy work of parenting a disappointed kid, and maybe help her learn some things. Tracy's doing well at ensuring the girls get along even less well. Does she think her daughter will have a good time playing third wheel to two girls who don't want her there? It is not Bella's job to make up for her stepsister's social awkwardness. As her mom, Tracy should be encouraging her in activities she enjoys and finding friends that way, not a-hole. I'm curious what Tracy would do if it was a non-related close friend asking Bella to accompany their family on a European vacation, provided they know and trust the family well. Would she also try to insist this family, who essentially has no real relationship with Sarah, bring her on their months-long trip? Or deprive her stepdaughter from a once-in-a-lifetime experience for the sake of fairness? Not a-hole. You nailed it with "our family jokingly calls them the twins." Sorry, Tracy. Their relationship was established deep long ago, and you being the way you are does not help.